Welcome back, everyone. That was a really great session from Curtis and Roger on OpenXR. We talked a little bit about OpenXR today and yesterday, and I know you were amazed at as much of a difference as it makes now. So you can only really code once, but just
play everywhere.
So it's really helpful. We have another guest with us. I did mention earlier that he was joining us. So Cameron Micka, he leads the graphics tools team in terms of one of the packages that's now available with MRTK3. So hello, Cameron. How are you?
I'm doing great. Yeah, thank you for having me.
Yes, of course. And so given that things are a bit more broken out now in terms of packages with MRTK3, with Graphics Tool, can you tell us a bit more about what that all entails?
Yeah, so if you're using MRTK3, you're likely already using Graphics Tools and may or may not know it. Graphics Tools is one of the packages, one of the, I'd say, core packages within MRTK that has all the shaders, materials, models, various tooling to make your mixed reality experiences look beautiful and run performantly on mixed reality devices.
Okay. And then if I'm remembering correctly, I can use this package, but I don't need to have the rest of MRTK with me, correct? I can just use this by itself as like its own kind of standalone?
Exactly. So back in the Mixed Reality Toolkit 2 days, which wasn't that long ago, a lot of our developers wanted to use our standard shader system, which was the system that kind of made all the visuals in the toolkit independently. And a few of them actually went to the lengths to actually separate it themselves. But after getting that feedback and feedback internally, we were like, this really needs to be its own package. So if you want to just use the shaders that you find in the Mixed Reality Toolkit, or more specifically within Graphics Tools, you can ingest that into your Unity project by itself, and it sits totally standalone. And it has its own GitHub repository. It has its own docs, own API reference, and own samples.
Yeah, and so speaking of samples, because I know I love samples, I know you love samples, because we were talking a lot about them yesterday. What kind of samples are included?
Yeah, there's probably, if I think about it, a little more than half a dozen different sample scenes.
Okay.
And each one can be imported independently if you only want to take a look at one portion, or you can import them all and kind of see the whole menu of available features. One of the favorite ones is one called the Material Gallery.
Okay.
And it's literally just a Unity scene full of what we call a shader ball. It's a surface that is kind of generic but shows off visual effects. And we probably have 50 different shader balls in that scene that show you how to do metallic effects, normal mapping. You can do portals. You can do hover lighting, different kinds of lighting techniques.
Okay.
So that's a great one if you just kind of want to see what kind of material effects can I make with graphics tools. And everything in that sample uses a single shader. So it's what's called an Uber shader system that's super flexible, and you can turn on and off features and kind of use whatever you need. And at the same time, if you have a feature turned off, you're not paying for it, so it doesn't kind of drag down the performance of your application.
That's good.
Yeah, so that's the Material Gallery sample. We also have one that does outlines, because something that's important in mixed reality is you need to highlight an object. And if you need to draw attention to an object in your scene, you could make a little red outline around it. And that's not normally a technique that's super easy to do in mixed reality due to performance constraints, but we provide tools and samples of how to do that. And then the big one, this is a huge differentiator between MRTK2 and MRTK3, is our Unity UI support. So Unity UI is kind of the preferred UI system that Unity provides. And we had support for it in previous iterations of the Mixed Reality Toolkit, but now we've found tons of developers are using it. So we have explicit tools to make Unity UI workflows just super natural and work out of the box. So there's a Unity UI sample scene which shows you how to create volumetric UI layouts in Unity UI, which is traditionally kind of 2D oriented. But we have components that will populate 3D meshes in your Unity UI layout. You can also do fun things like, say you have a portion of your UI you want to mask out. You'll see this all the time when you're scrolling through lists of items. We have a custom rounded rect mask, which gives you little rounded corners, which are I guess, all very popular now in every
telling
design
you.
language.
It's all about the corner radius.
Yeah.
Like,
It's all about those rounded corners.
Yes.
So yeah, we have a component that does that for you. And then just kind of quality of life tooling that makes laying out UI systems easier in 3D.
So it sounds like it makes it a lot easier to make a good user experience, right? So like these things that were very difficult and hard on performance, you can use this toolkit to make really impactful and like usable experiences and be able to highlight and add really probably things that used to be really complex quite easily.
Exactly. Yeah, and people have always asked for, I want to make UI that looks just like the UI I found in the HoloLens show. I want it to look just like Microsoft's design language. And we partnered with the mixed reality design language team to make sure all of the shaders, all of the materials, all the models they created and they used are in this package. So everybody has access to them now. They're all open source on GitHub.
Oh, that's great.
And you can theme your UI to look exactly like we have in our shell.
Okay.
And yeah, you already see that in the mixed reality toolkit. The core UX package uses all of our shaders, so they all look and feel similar.
And I know you mentioned Unity, but I think also Unreal. What if I'm using Unreal? Can I also use this as well?
That's a good point. Yeah, we have the mixed reality toolkit for Unreal, and just like Unity, there's a graphics tools package in there as well. I guess it's called a plugin on Unreal, but same idea. There's graphics tools for Unreal, and I wouldn't say the features are one-to-one between Unity and Unreal, but there's a lot of very similar components such as mesh outlines and clipping primitives and effects to make performant metallic surfaces and stuff like that.
Okay, so you can try it out too then.
Yeah, because I've been doing way more Unreal lately.
Oh, great.
Yes, because we did I focus on AI actually, and so there's a neural network inference plugin in Unreal, so I've been having a lot of fun building things there, so I think I'll have to check out the Unreal package.
Yeah.
Yes, please do, yeah. I'm a big fan of Unreal and Unity, so yeah, it's good we have parity there.
Totally.
And then you're a pretty distributed team, right?
Yeah, that's correct. So even though I'm here representing graphics tools, I'm just one of the engineers on the team. We have engineers, designers, artists all working on this package. And we're based obviously here in the Seattle area, but also in Nigeria and Germany. So we work across different time zones and collaborate remotely.
Okay, I like that part about being here.
Yeah, same.
There's just like folks everywhere.
Yeah, like how many conversations you talk to someone and they're from like multiple countries and you realize like it's just really cool to be able to get together with all of the people that are excited about the same thing from like all over the world, and then like you're now working on products that are spanning that, and it helps to make sure that you're meeting your customers where they are too, right? And working with diverse and different communities to like really make better products.
Yeah, and especially since graphics tools for Unity just went public on GitHub late last week.
Okay.
Now anybody in the world can clone the repository, they can create issues, they can create pull requests. So our global community's kind of expanded even further.
That's good. Oh, I love that.
Is there content and stuff available to learn? Like you said, there were samples. Is there documentation? Where would people go to learn more?
Yes, we have all of our docs on docs.microsoft.com.
Okay.
And if you go to the graphics tools repository on GitHub, there's a link to the documentation on docs.microsoft.com, as well as the API documentation.
Okay,
Awesome.
all right, that's super helpful. And then switching gears just a little bit, you have an interesting background in gaming.
Oh, yes.
Yes, tell us more about that.
Yeah, so there's actually a lot of parallels between mixed reality development and the video game industry.
Yeah.
And I was fortunate enough to join Microsoft in 2016 after being in video games for about a decade.
Okay.
Yeah, and before that, I used tools like Unity and Unreal to make video games for companies such as Lucasfilm, who did Star Wars video games, as well as smaller studios that work for PlayStation.
Okay.
So a lot of those skills I picked up making video games translated right over to this kind of work.
I've been telling people that, and I feel like people look at me really weird that when they're not in this field, and they may not be in gaming field either, and I'm like, it's actually, there's a lot of similar like ways of building. Like you're using the gaming engines, you're using the same type of like objects and graphics, and performance is still important, and so they are so similar. And so that was really helpful to be able to take all these things you already knew and then now apply it to this new way of doing it.
Yeah, I totally agree. That's one of the reasons I kind of fell into graphics tools development, is because in games, you have to work with shaders all the time to make sure your games run quickly and efficiently. And that might not be something you encounter in a traditional computer science path.
Yeah,
totally.
Especially even here at Microsoft, we obviously have tons of shader experts, but as a whole, they're kind of far and few between. So yeah, that's one of
the materials. So like I just went through the learning phase of like learning how to create materials and like post-processing materials, and that gets really complex really fast. And it is like, I think I understand now why there's experts like just on that one thing in gaming. Like once I started getting into it, and I had no idea like how complex and how much time and how much knowledge it takes to do these things like really well and really performance.
Yeah, and it's an ever-changing landscape. I was speaking with somebody last night, one of our developers attending Dev Days, and I'd say every 4 years the landscape just totally changes in shader programming and graphics development. It moves way quicker, I would say, than traditional like CPU programming.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So is it like the new JavaScript framework comes out and then you have to change?
Yeah.
Because you know how there's always like that's always changing in like front end development. So is this like it's a similar thing for like the graphics world?
Oh, exactly. Yeah. It's
All
always
right.
changing.
Well, thank you for joining us in this conversation. And I think we've learned a great amount with regards to the graphics tools, gaming, all the parallels that we have as well with there. And so coming up, we have, I think these are our final 2 sessions for today, maybe. We have, we have a panel that will be happening today with folks from the MRTK team. And in addition to that, we also have a session from the Babylon JS team.
Which isn't streamed, right?
Yeah, it's going to be on demand.
So you're going to have to wait a little bit, but I'm going to have to go check that one out because I've been talking about Babylon JS.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. And speaking of games, I know there's a game that they recently came out with in a sample for their 5.0 release that I started checking out online. So that seems like it'll be pretty cool. But I would say, I know the hackathon was mentioned, and I'd be really interested to see what folks are going to create with regards to the hackathon and how they can incorporate graphics tools as well, because there's a lot that can be created. But I know we've spoken so much with the community about just showing us what you create, and I'd love to see some tools or some samples that use graphics tools, maybe if they're not MRTK projects. So thanks everyone, and we are now going to get ready for the panel.